Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Roll and Move Live. Thank you for joining us tonight, this Sunday evening. Thanks for taking the time at the end of your weekend to sit down and talk board games with us. Today, we're going to be talking about our Origins wrap-up. We're going to be talking about the games we played there, some of the experiences we had, the stuff we saw there that really caught our interest, and maybe we'll just get some anecdotes from our guests today. Joining us, as always, my co-host, my favorite guy in the biz, it's Asdruval the Retro Gamer. Asdruval, how you doing today?
Good, Kirk. Thanks for having me once again as your
Awesome.
formal co-host, I guess.
Glad to have you. And our special guest today, you know him from his contributions to the Dice Tower. He's the Blue Player on YouTube. Welcome our guest, Robert Geistlinger. Robert, thanks for joining us. How you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How about you
Awesome.
guys?
We're doing great. Thanks for Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Cool. All right. So, like I said, our main topic today will be Origins. I was there. I did a day trip on Saturday. Robert, you were there, I think, most of the week in the Dice Tower booth. And as of all, you were following along at home. So we'll talk about that a little bit. Yep. But, Robert, what we'll do, as we do with all our first-time guests, we want to start out just talking to you a little bit and just get some background, your origins, no pun intended, in the hobby, how you got started, and how that kind of snowballed and turned into content creation.
Well, it definitely was quite a snowball. So probably the way everyone starts this, I played games when I was younger. Mostly I played a lot of Stratego, weirdly. And then we played a lot of Rook, which I actually state is the reason probably I hate trick-taking games. So I played a lot of those, and then I have memories of me and my mother used to play this game called Nightmare. Asdruval, I don't know if you know of this game. So it's a game called Nightmare.
The
VHS tapes.
VCR.
Yes.
Yeah.
Apparently it was re-released with DVDs too, but so it went from there. I'm the oldest of 7, so there was a lot of board gaming in general, because what else are you going to do with 7 kids? And then from there, during my high school years, I played a lot of D&D, Vampire Masquerade, and then a few years with Magic the Gathering, but I like to joke it was the years there weren't really any expansions. But that actually does tie into how I got back into the hobby. So years went by, I didn't play much. Outside of a couple times I played things. I had a friend who was obsessed with Civilization, Advanced Civilization. So I played quite a bit of that. But then fast forward to probably 2011 or so, and I had moved back to Orlando from Chicago, and most everyone I had known here in Orlando had moved away. So I didn't really have anybody. And I decided I was going to try to branch out, and I thought, well, Magic the Gathering would be a good way to do that. Seems like such a weird sentence now. A great way to make friends. But so there's a local gaming store here we have called Sci-Fi City that I had used to go to get my comics, and I knew that they did like Friday Night Magic. So I stopped in one night, and I'm like, hey, I want to get back in, and immediately was completely overwhelmed. It's like, so never mind on that.
Yeah.
I was like, I have no idea what game you guys are even playing. But the owner there had mentioned that they did a board game night on Tuesdays. And I was like, all right, well, I play board games. I haven't played in a while, but let's do this. And I went in, and we ended up playing, I think that night, Puerto Rico is the first game, and then the Catan. So I started with those two right there. And I was immediately like, whoa, I need to keep doing this. And that just snowballed. I think 2 weeks later, I had made a $300 purchase through Cool Stuff. I think I'd picked up Arkham Horror. I don't even remember. Mansions of like I went big. I was like, boom, I'm going big. But so it just kept snowballing till eventually 6 years later, I'm in a room surrounded by about 700 board games.
Awesome.
From there, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, you had mentioned you came, a couple other things, hobbies you had. You were doing D&D and role-playing games, and, you read comics. Did you find yourself more attracted because of that to thematic games, and specifically thematic games that maybe, match those other hobbies you were into?
Initially, yes. Initially, the first games that I myself purchased and weren't games people introduced me to were more thematic games. So yeah, and I think it was because of my interest in my hobby interest in horror and fantasy and sci-fi. So I was drawn more to those. But over time, I felt more and more drawn to the Euro games, to where that's more what I predominantly play these days.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, initially, coming from a more role-playing background, I always joke that I had no choice in the matter, because when I was born, my initials are RPG. I never had a choice in the matter.
Were you
Done.
were you a little surprised on where game board design, how it evolved?
I was, like I said, I mean, my real experiences before that were Stratego, maybe the original Dungeon, Monopoly, Sorry, your typical games. And then the only hobby game I had experience with was Advanced Civilization, which is an epic game.
Right.
So yeah, I was really surprised. But I found that it felt natural to me. So I not so sure it was a surprise as much as it was just a surprise at how many games there were.
Absolutely.
So
now from there, where did it go from just being a player to, like I said, a content creator, somebody who was making videos, and then eventually got associated with the Dice Tower?
Well, so my association with the Dice Tower more came via the convention, the Dice Tower convention. I had went to Dice Tower Convention 2, I believe. And at that point, I was the only person I knew there. And I'm fortunate it's here in Orlando. And so I kind of wandered around and met people. And that led to the next year, me deciding I wanted to volunteer and be more involved in the convention. And then one of my side things I got into quickly was I do high quality print and plays. So we always joke I'm probably one of like 5 people who can actually properly counterfeit a board game if need be. And that led me to do a fully redesigned version of Advanced Civilization that is beautiful, and I put it in the auction, and that got to me talking to Patrick Havert, who runs the Dice Tower convention. And from there it just snowballed. And then last year, because I haven't done the content creation that long, last year, late in the year, I decided, you know what, people are always asking me for advice on games. I'm giving it. I'm a very opinionated person, so I kept saying I'm gonna make videos. And that, like everything for me, was a snowball. I started with my phone trying to do videos, and then I immediately bought a different camera, then a different camera, until eventually I said I'm just going to get a DSLR and let's be done with this. But I still watch. I sat down and I kept trying to do this review of this game, and it was not good. I pretty much stood there like this. It looked like I was giving the news. It was so terrible, so bad. But then what really changed was 2 things. One, you guys know Rob Oren?
Yeah.
So Rob Oren does his channel, and he had done a call out for a community review segment that he was going to start doing, where we would just submit small videos talking about whatever game or theme he was doing. And so I just said, I'm going to do one. And I think the first one was for Descent, and I just talked about it. And Oren, he wrote me back, and he's like, you're a natural in front of this. You really seemed relaxed. And that encouraged me. And so I dumped all of the things I had put on. I decided I was going to do the Blue Player. And then that snowballed to where each 2 weeks that I was doing with Rob Oren, I was getting crazier and crazier and crazier, trying to outdo myself with my green screen antics. And it kept going from there until eventually I launched the Blue Player channel. And I think I had maybe done 5 reviews on that channel, when, going back, just rewind a hair, I had been on the Dice Tower cruise last year, and I'd had time to spend with Tom. And I did a review for a game called Lost in Rillier, and I had posted it on my Facebook. And I got a message from Tom Vassell, who was like, call me. And I'm like, okay. I called him the next day. He's like, hey, I really like what you're doing. Would you want to be on the Dice Tower? And from there, that's what happened.
Cool.
So Now I do video reviews for the Dice Tower.
Fantastic. I was wondering, what's the origin of the name the Blue Player? Why did you pick that name for your channel?
That was actually really simple. So my favorite color since I was this tall or whatever has been blue. Whenever I sit down to play a game, I will play a separate game with you just to make sure that I get blue. No matter what, I am going to be blue. If that means we have to go over here and play another game to determine who's going to be blue in this game. So when I was moving around and I'd come up with a few different ideas for it, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna be crazy about this. If I establish myself with a Blue Player channel, then no one can ever argue with me at the table again about who's getting blue. So
Is that where the
yeah?
Is that where the
selfish.
blue shirts evolved? You wearing always the blue shirts?
It's this one shirt. This one shirt. I did it.
It's the uniform.
It is. It's a bit of. I bought it for the first review I did, not intending it to be that thing, but I really liked the way it looked, and I was taking a lot of inspiration from a lot of different content creators as to how I wanted to do my final presentation, and I wore this shirt, and I just really liked the way it popped on camera, and so I happened to wear it in the next video, and by the fourth video, I was like, you know what, I'm always going to wear that shirt, and that's how I always wear this shirt.
That's what happened to me with my white shirts that I wear on my Blender segments. Like the first time I didn't wear a white shirt, someone was like, "What happened to your white shirt?" So I just started wearing a white shirt.
There is a second reason that I picked this shirt specifically. I had a different blue shirt I was going to wear, but when I was doing my first overview, I have a tattoo right here on my forearm, and I didn't want it in the shot. So I chose to do a long sleeve shirt. So that also played into this shirt specifically becoming the shirt.
Gotcha. I noticed that you do a lot of solo playthroughs on your channel, and we just did a few weeks ago. We did an episode on solo gaming. How did you discover that from getting back into the hobby? What attracted you to solo gaming, and specifically taking the time to sit down and record those playthroughs?
Well, doing the solo gaming was I tend to be the rules teacher always, and playing a solo playthrough would allow me to do that. But it's also was the fact that before I got into content creation, I had a lot of time on my hands. I worked from home, and at the job I was at, I had a lot of time on my hands, so I played a lot of solo board games. And when I was trying to figure out what else I could do on my channel besides just reviewing, solo playthroughs seemed like the logical choice, because I also watch solo playthroughs, but I found that I didn't like some of them. Like Shout Out Rado does great playthroughs, but I can't do the jerky camera thing. I'm like, huh. So yeah, it seemed, and originally when I did one, I didn't think I was ever going to do another one, to be honest. It was just going to be that one. I think it was Gates of Loyang. I think I did the first one, but I got a lot of positive feedback from it that people were like, I really like the way you interacted during your playthrough. So I just kept doing them. And I think I've backed off them a little bit, but I definitely have games lined up to do it. But I solo board game probably more than a normal person should. I'm not a video gamer, so.
Awesome. That's cool. All right. Well, Robert, thanks for sharing all the information. It was really great to get to know you and just find out a little bit about your background. But more recently, what are some games that you've been playing now? What are some things that you've been interested in, caught your attention in the past week or so?
Well, obviously the past week or so was games that I got at Origins mostly. This one I played just last night, Sentient. I don't know if you got to look at this one over there. This one I've really been playing a lot of as of last night. Sherlock Holmes is another game that I have been playing a ridiculous amount of. And Lisboa. I don't know if you guys have seen that one, but that is my current obsession game. It's designed by Vital Lacerda, who did The Gallerist. So
Okay.
I've been playing a lot of that one as well.
Cool. Yeah, I've seen that name pop up. I haven't seen much about it though.
It's if you listen to him talk about it, I swear it's his love letter to Lisboa. So it's more historical based in that, I guess, and I didn't know this, that the city had gotten hit by an earthquake, then a tsunami, and then fires raged through the cities for like 3 days, and now you're rebuilding this. It's a heavy Euro. I actually think it's slightly lighter than the Galeris, though. Doesn't seem like it should be at first glance, but yeah. So those are the ones that I've been playing the most of. I'm waiting on Magic Maze and El Dorado to get here so I can play them again.
Cool.
And then I've recently been bored by King Domino. Oh wait, and I've been doing some solo plays of Endure the Stars, which is a thematic game, so a little different for me.
Cool.
But I got sent that to take a look at. So
awesome.
What do you guys?
How about you? It's Azrael's been hitting your table.
Well, the newest episode of Will Wheaton's Tabletop came out last week, I believe, and he played Steam Park. And I said, those guys are having a really, really good time playing that game. So I dug it out of my closet and showed my stepson and his girlfriend how to play just today. And they were playing it, but, I didn't get the sense that they were, like, really into it like I was, and how they were on the show, Kind of disappointing, but we got through it. So I've been played Steam Park this morning. I've been still playing a lot of 13 Days. Can't get enough of that game. I love it. It's like a mini Twilight Struggle. I love it. And a lot of Hero Realms. I'm still enjoying Hero Realms a lot.
Cool.
And that's what's been consuming my last couple of weeks.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that we got through it is not a glowing endorsement.
Yeah, just it looked like the guys on Tabletop were having so much fun, and I just couldn't convey the funness to these two other people. So
I wanted to watch. I haven't got a chance to watch that episode yet, but I want to because I've never played Steam Park, so I wanted to see watch that to see what it's like.
Really simple, really fun little game. I liked it.
It's cool. On my shelf, unplayed. I know that because I've been trying really hard from now on to leave things in shrink wrap until I play them.
Oh, until you play them.
Cool. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to play. It just seems for whatever reason, Origins. I have one really busy week during the summer that consumes all my time, and Origins falls right before that, so I haven't had a chance to play much. As well, that's why you don't have your copy of Terraforming Mars yet. But I have not played much, but yesterday I finally got to go to a game day and get some playing done. And I got to play. I know this is a big game at Origins. I didn't demo it there because I knew my friend already had a copy and I get a chance to play it. And that's Baron Park, the new, I call them Tetris games, where you place the pieces and try and make them fit on the board. I really enjoyed that one. Have either of you played that yet?
I got to play. I played that one a few weeks before Origins. I love that game. That's a patchwork killer. And despite the fact that I grabbed Cottage Garden, I have a feeling I'm gonna play Cottage Garden and just want to go right back to Baron Park.
Yeah, I haven't played Patchwork. I have played Cottage Garden. I like this one better than Cottage Garden because it seems like the rules and the mechanics are cleaner.
Right.
Where the one thing I really like about Cottage Garden is how you kind of just lay pieces around the map and you pick them that way. It just came off as kind of sloppy to me. I like I said, I think cleaner is a better way to put it. But I really enjoyed it. That was fun. And I also got to play another game that I wanted to demo at Origins but didn't get a chance to, and that's Not Alone from Stronghold. And it's a real simple card game. Basically, one player, everybody but one person plays survivors on this crash landed on this alien planet, and one person plays the monster trying to capture them. And you lay the cards out. The cards are all different locations, and you secretly pick what location you're going to be at. And the alien is trying to guess where you're at and capture you and damage you. So it's kind of a cat and mouse game, and it's pretty. The thing that makes it cool is that each location gives you a different ability if you don't get caught there. So you're kind of, there's at certain times there are locations that are very advantageous to go to, but the alien knows that, but they also know that you know that they know. So it's one of those things like, okay, should I go there now or should I wait? Should I go to the less obvious space that isn't going to give me as much of an advantage now, but I know I won't get caught. I probably won't get caught there. So it's a lot of, like I said, cat and mouse, just chase each other down, trying to hide, trying to catch the other guy. And I thought that one was a lot of fun.
Cool.
Yeah, I haven't taken a look at that one yet, but I'd taken a look at it sitting there.
Yeah, it's fun. It's quick. It's a nice little card game. If you like those one versus many games, it's a fun one.
I'll take a look. I do like one versus all games a lot.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's a fun game. All right. We kind of talked about this now already. Some of the games that were at Origins, but let's dive into that topic. And Robert, I'm just going to let you go. We'll ask you some questions, but just kind of share with us your experience. Was this your first time at Origins?
This was my first time at Origins.
Okay, cool.
I had never been before.
Awesome. Yeah, just tell us kind of what your experience was, just as as a gamer being there, but also participating with the Dice Tower. What the week was like for you.
Tiring.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was there. I was there from the night before it started through Sunday evening. So I was there the whole time. It was. I kind of used Origins as a stepping stone for me because I've been doing Dice Tower Con for the last 4 years, and I didn't feel ready for Gen Con yet. Origins seemed like a good in-between sort of convention for me, and that's what it was. I really enjoyed seeing. The only thing that I noticed is there wasn't a lot of new games there, and I didn't know if that was really from us being what we do. We see a lot of the games early, or if that really was just Origins just doesn't have a lot of new releases. Even Perlac Holmes was a Origins release, but I'd had it 4 weeks prior. So, but I really enjoyed the convention on a whole. I think the biggest shock from there were two big shocks for me. One is that I still saw people doing pre-registration Sunday.
Wow.
I was really confused by that. Yeah. And also how much people love Mark Street. Seriously, my joke the entire time. I know you guys had Mark Street on, I think about a month ago. Man, when I grow up, I want to be Mark Street. That guy is both the hardest working guy in the business and the most not working guy in the business. No, it was great. It was great having people come by the booth a lot because I was in the Dice Tower booth the whole time. And this was the first time being there that I got to actually sit down with some of the publishers and do that Origins summer preview and talk to them. Like I got to sit down with Fireside and look at Kaiju Crush. That was pretty exciting. I got to sit down with Ares and take a look at this War of Mine, which was the darkest thing I looked at the entire con. Have you guys seen that game? Do you know
I've heard about it.
I've heard about it. Yeah.
So it was a video game, which I didn't know, and I didn't know anything about this sitting down for that interview. And I guess in this game, the characters, the civilians that you're controlling, can get depressed. They can get a little not wishing to continue any longer. And that really threw me off. But it was fun. It was sitting talking to them, talking to just the different publishers, and also getting to talk to other content creators that I haven't got to talk to a lot, such not just from the Dice Tower. I got to sit one night and just me and Lance Mixter got to just sit in a lobby and talk for a few hours about things. And so that was really good. The other side of it, though, with Origins is, and this is going to sound odd, is I'm not sure how much I would have enjoyed Origins being there as just a gamer. And I don't know how I felt about that. I mean, I didn't get to see it from that angle, being my first time being there as a booth worker or being part of a booth. I don't know if I say booth worker. But I'm not sure that I would personally go to Origins unless it was my local convention if I wasn't involved in the industry in some way. I don't know how you guys feel about that. But yeah, I guess I'm just used to the smaller conventions where it's just open gaming all the time sort of thing. So, but I did get to see a lot of cool games, so I'm not gonna lie about that.
Now, when you say that, do you mean are you saying from a gaming standpoint, actual open gaming, just going and playing, or do you mean from
Right.
a more? Are you talking more about the vendor hall and what you saw there? Is that what kind of makes you feel like you wouldn't want to go if you weren't
No.
participating?
It was more of the open gaming, the
Okay,
lack of it from a
I see.
perspective.
Gotcha.
Looking at it from a smaller convention standpoint.
Sure.
It felt more demo-y. Like I got to demo some great games, but I didn't feel like there was that environment. Now I know that they somewhere, and I didn't see it, there is a spot that you can have a gaming hall that you can buy an additional thing for.
Yeah.
But so that was the only thing that kind of threw me off about it. But other than that, I enjoyed it. So
I'll agree with you there. I mean, I've never gone. I've only ever gotten to go for short periods of time, so I never get to go and just sit and play. But I know that from my perspective, signing up and everything, they don't make it real easy. They don't really present it as, well, maybe that's the wrong way to phrase it. It's not real intuitive, like where to go, what to do, where you have to go to play, what do you have to get, some things you have to buy those tokens for, some things are ticketed, and there are events I wanted to participate in, and the week before, there's like, hey, we're demoing this or we're doing this, and I get there like, oh, that was ticketed, that was a ticketed event, you need a ticket for that. I'm like, well, I didn't know that. How was I supposed to find out about that? So maybe it's from an organizational standpoint, I don't know, but I do definitely see your point there.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure. Yeah, from a gamer perspective, I don't know that I would have been known where anything is. I would have felt lost. Even being there as part of the Dice Tower booth, I felt anytime I ventured out from that booth, out from the gaming or the exhibitor hall, I felt lost.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe some more signs or something would have been good.
Yeah.
But so that was my only real negative to it. There's a lot of walking at that convention.
Yeah.
Just to find something to eat.
Yeah.
although let's be honest, the best part, and this is single-handedly making me want to go back no matter what, is the North Market across the street.
That's what everybody's talking about. Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, let's talk about some games that you saw there. Some new games. I know you said there weren't, and I noticed that too. There didn't seem to be as many new games as usual, but there were some. And I know, Asdruval, we were talking earlier. You said that you were watching some videos, some stuff that came out there, and Robert, we'll start with you. Why don't we just take turns? Tell me a game, maybe one of your favorite games of the show that you got to see and try for the first time.
Well, I'll go with one that surprised me because I didn't think I was going to like it, and that's the one I mentioned a little bit earlier, and that was Kaiju Crush that Fireside has coming out soon. I'm not a fan of the whole big monsters, Godzilla type themes, and so when I sat down and looked at it, I was like, all right, I'll see what this is about. And in reality, there is a really nice area control game with a bit of set collection and anti-set collection going on. I like that. I really liked the way that game was presented, and for me personally, the theme kind of disappeared. But I could also see where if you were really into this theme, where this game would also really drag you into the theme. So that was the first one that really surprised me at the convention that I had not got to look at first.
That is one I wanted to try out, and I was bummed out because I went to the booth. I made a list because like I said, my time is short there, so I try to organize what I'm going to do, where I'm going to go. That wasn't necessarily on my list, but I had some free time and I walked by and I saw it there, and there was no one in the booth who could demo it. So that's the one thing I would say for. I don't know if this is like I said, I don't go. Origins is my convention. I really haven't had the opportunity to go to a lot of other ones. So I don't know if this is just Origin specific or if this happens everywhere. But if you have a game set up in your booth, make sure there's already somebody there, always somebody there who can show how to play it. Make sure you got at least two people, so if somebody goes to go to the bathroom, because they probably could have sold me that game. Probably would have been too hard for them to sell me on that game, but there's no one there. And I was like, I'll come back, and I never made it back. So I was disappointed, but I do want to try that one out.
Well, I'm pretty sure Justin from Fireside could sell me on Monopoly. So,
Hey,
But yeah,
Robert. Speaking about Fireside Games, did they have Hot Shots demoing there?
I assume they possibly did at the booth. I didn't get to go over directly to their booth, so I don't know, to be honest.
Okay.
I when they had came up to do the interview with me, I had assumed that we were going to do Hot Shots, and then because that's the one they have coming out more soon, or
Right,
in a
right.
weird way. But they showed me Kaiju Crush, so I honestly I don't know.
Interesting. Okay.
But I'm kind of glad in the end that they showed me Kaiju because Hot Shots I have no interest in. That theme, like I'm looking over here and going, there's a reason Flashpoint just sits there.
It's just-
That theme just doesn't work for me.
when I go to Origins, like I said, I spend most of my time demoing games, and what I try to do is I kind of look for hidden gems because I figure the bigger games I'm going to get diluted with information about everything that diluted, that's not the right word, but just overwhelmed with information about the big hot games coming out. So I don't necessarily have to sit down and play all those, but I do look for games that Origins may be my only opportunity to see them. So I found a couple of those, and one I really liked. It's a game from DPH Publishers. I got the demo this Saturday night. It's called Affliction, Salem 1762, 1692.
Is that the same company that did Cats behind you?
Yes. Yeah, that's the Cats
Thought
company.
so.
And it's a really cool game. What they basically did was I was talking to one of the designers, and they saw all these Salem witch trial themed games, and it was all hats and brooms and all different kinds of weird stuff. And they said there's no game out here that really tells the real story. And the real story is actually scarier than the fictionalized version of it. So it takes all the characters. If you've ever read The Crucible, all the main players, and takes all those characters. And basically, it's like an engine building game. You're trying to recruit the certain people, certain family members onto your side to protect them. And you're basically taking advantage of the situation. People you don't like, you're trying to arrest them and take their property and take advantage of them. So it tells the story really well. I guess it's a really cool engine building game, a lot of fun.
Can I ask how that Cats is? Because Cats is something I'd never heard of, and I saw at Origins. And I remember seeing is from a distance. I remember seeing a card that I think said like Steven Seagal.
Yeah, they're all like it's all the you chase these birds and they're all paired. Like they said, they're the demo card for Origins this year was Doctor Who. He was an owl, so it's a fun little game. I played with my family, and I felt bad because they sent me this to review like months ago, and I haven't gotten to it yet. So the the designer didn't recognize me. So
Right.
it's like I just keep my head down when he was demoing it. But I played it with my family. We really enjoy it. And again, you're just playing different cats, and you're playing different actions trying to cat. And again, it's the fun is in the silliness of the art and the cats. It's a fun little family game.
Gotcha.
Cool. How about you, Asdruval? When you were looking up stuff for Origins, what did you see that caught your eye?
Well, I've been, watching the Dice Towers live show, and not the whole thing because like each episode's like a couple hours long.
Yeah.
But there was a segment where Tom sat down and just gave anybody who had, whether a prototype or something, a couple minutes to talk about their game. And this game really caught my eye because I'm a wrestling fan myself. It was called Dice Championship Wrestling. And I guess this guy has been designing it for the last couple of years, but that really caught my eye. And hopefully that comes, he evolves it more. He's got a Facebook page. I looked it up, and yeah, that one really caught my eye, and hopefully he does something with that. And
He does there's no publisher yet?
I don't think that he does. I'm not quite sure. I think he's trying to self-publish.
Because I'd play that game.
Yeah, you're talking about when Tom was just doing more of a speed session with anybody who had prototypes.
Right, anybody who had something to come up, and you got a couple minutes to talk about it.
Right, get a little bit of feedback.
Right. And then another one I'm interested in is called the Flip Ship. Have you guys heard of Flip Ship?
Yeah.
Flip ships. That's from Renegade.
Right. Is that available now or?
Well, it was available at Origins. You could get a copy there. I don't know if it's available for purchase outside of that yet, but I know that they had copies at Origins. It's a fun little dexterity game. I got to play about half a game of it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's it. Had the Space Invader feel type where the aliens are coming down on you. I find that rather exciting. So that one really caught my eye also.
Cool.
Let's see. Flip Ships is, I'll tell you right now if it's available. It is still pre-order outside of the
Pre-order,
cons.
okay.
So
maybe at Gen Con I might be able to pick it up. I'm not sure. I got a list, you know.
Robert, what's another game you saw that you liked?
Okay, so there was actually one there that I had no knowledge of before, and I only got to one of our other contributors got to do a demo of it, but I didn't. I got to go through it and look at it. There is a publisher, and I, for the life of me, can't remember who it is, that is doing a Warehouse 13 board game.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a huge fan of Warehouse 13. So apparently they're done, and they ran it through. It looks like it's pretty solid as far as the gameplay goes. But I guess they have to go through everything. Has to go through NBC legal.
Mm.
So they couldn't give me a definitive date on anything. They couldn't give me too much information outside of here's how it plays, sort of thing. But it looks like what I was looking for really here, because we know licensed games, you don't know which way that's going to go. But it looks like they actually stayed really true to the source material. So I'm really excited about that one. I wish I could remember who the publisher is. The only thing the most important thing I remember is they said every time they're going to tweet about the game, they have to present 10 tweets to NBC. And NBC gets to pick which one of them gets put out.
Oh, geez.
So after he ran me through the way everything works and stuff, I'm like, so it's going to be a while before we see this. But Warehouse 13, and that was actually something that I wouldn't have seen outside of Origins. So that I was excited about seeing. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. What did you say?
I was going to say that, and since I wanted to get into the other one, licenses, Gale Force 9 was demoing the Doctor Who game that's coming out, and that actually looked really, really good.
Cool. Yeah, I've heard a lot of positive. A lot of people saying that was their favorite game of the show. Warehouse 13. Some of a couple guys in one of my game groups. I'm not sure if they play tested it or because they're just big fans of the show, and I know they've been following it closely and have been talking to the designer. So there's a lot of buzz in my group for that game. A lot of people look forward to that coming out.
Cool.
Another game, another hidden gem I saw was something I just saw in the Origins, the geek list for Origins. Company called Hungry for More Games kickstarted a game called Steal the Show. And personally, for me, it was enjoyable because of the theme. Basically you're playing Shakespeare characters. Every player is playing somebody from a Shakespeare play, and you attack each other with insults from Shakespeare plays. You're basically throwing shade at each other in Shakespearean language, and whoever has the best insults kind of wins the battle. So just a fun little filler game. Again, if you're not in the theme, you're probably not going to be in the game. But it's something personally I liked, and I know my wife and some of our friends will enjoy. So that was a game I really enjoyed. And also, we were talking about Mark a minute ago. When he was on, he was talking about Element from Rather Dashing. And I demoed that at Origins. I've got to play a full game since, and I really enjoyed that. That's a lot of fun. I don't know if you guys got to play Element yet.
I didn't get to play it.
Yet.
I got to just take a look at it.
It's really cool. The mechanic is you're trying to capture it's an abstract where you move around the board, and each piece represents a different element that has different abilities as you play it, and you're trying to capture the person on your right. So if we're sitting in the way, I'm looking at us on the screen right now. Robert, I'd be trying to catch you. You'd be trying to catch as well as I'll be trying to catch me. And it was so hard to wrap your head around that the person attacking you isn't the person that you're supposed to be attacking. It's very counterintuitive, to most games. In fact, we were playing and someone would attack us and our turn we'd go right back after that guy. It's like, no, that's not what you're trying to get. You catch him, somebody else wins. So it's a real interesting game, and just the way the different elements work, it was a lot of fun, and I like that one.
Interesting. Kirk, I'm waiting to hear the Godfather bashing. What's up?
We'll get to that in a minute. We'll save that for the end. You guys got some time.
Coming?
Yeah, we'll talk about it in a minute. In the meantime, what's some stuff you saw, Asdruval, that you liked?
I'm still waiting for Custom Heroes, AEG's next card crafting game.
Okay.
The only reason is because I did enjoy Mystic Vale, but I wasn't too wrapped around the theme where you're this druid trying to save the planet or the Earth or whatever. But I did like mechanic in the game, so hopefully the Custom Heroes will be just a different theme, but with the same mechanics. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Cool.
I just learned there was a theme to Mystic Vale.
maybe it's pasted on.
Robert, was AEG? Did they have any kind of presence at the show? Because I could not find them.
I didn't see AEG at all.
Yeah, they weren't in the regular locations. I looked around and I didn't see them at all.
I have no memory of them being there.
Yeah,
you would think that a big company like that would be there.
Yeah, usually they're there, and usually they have a pretty strong presence. They have a booth in the vendor hall, and then they have one demoing in the gaming hall. And they're usually, I like it because usually by the weekend they're having some pretty good sales on their games. I pick up some decent games at good prices there, and then also I like to demo the new stuff coming out and see what they have. So I was looking for them. I did not see them at all.
Yeah, I did. I definitely didn't see AEG. There were some vendors that kind of either don't do Origins or just kind of mail it in. Like, Fantasy Flight's presence was next to nothing because they don't really care about Origins too much.
Yeah.
So
Robert, you got another game you want to talk about?
Hold on.
Sure.
Let me walk right over here and grab this. Because this is a scary box.
Okay. Wow. Don't see a lot of boxes that size anymore.
Woo! This is a heavy box. Yeah, Lisboa.
Wow.
This game, this is a Gen Con release that they had 100 copies, and I managed to snag one of these.
Nice.
So I definitely did that.
Awesome.
The other one that I was really pushing was, again, I'm going to keep pushing this on every person I know. Because I really thought that this would be the dumbest game ever made. And this is a great deduction game. And this is a great deduction game you can play with 2 players.
Oh, cool.
And normally deduction games don't work for me. But the game that really blew me away now is Sentient.
Okay.
That's the one, and that was the other one as well that Renegade was selling other than flip ships. They were also doing Sentient.
Yeah.
This is a puzzly game where you're rolling these dice and you're like plugging in you're doing like an area control thing to try to plug in new technologies into your board that manipulate your particular dice. So there's a lot of math going on. Like some of the cards will be like, you need this side to be even, this side to be odd, or both be even in order to get victory points. So it's a puzzle game. And Mike, I always have a concern with puzzle games because most of them, once you've solved the puzzle, you never want to play the game again. Sure. But so this puzzle can not only be different every game, it will be different every round.
Whoa.
This will never, ever be the same game or same anything ever. And I really, really was surprised at this. The theme really worked with it, but also if you've got somebody in your group that just really loves math, right here, like they're going to adore this. My girlfriend loves mathy things, and as she was playing this, I could just watch her eyes light up. She was, I think at the end she declared, "I love this game." So this I have a feeling this is probably going to end up being my biggest surprise of the con. Cool. The other cool thing about this one, and I've been pointing this out to everyone, these dice in this bag in this game They're the exact same colors as Starburst. I mean, they're identical. I put them up against the candy. They're the exact same color as a pack of Starburst.
Yeah.
So what's the length of time on that game?
It's I believe 30 to 60. Let's see. Oh yeah, 30 to 60, 2 to 4 players.
That's not bad.
That's reasonable. For me, that's actually a short game. So. But yeah, Sentient. And that one got a lot of buzz. I think Renegade actually sold out of that one at the con.
Yeah, I was bummed out. I never stopped by the Renegade booth. I saw a lot of activity there the whole time I was there. I wish I would have stopped and seen those two games. They both look pretty cool. Asdruval, was there anything else you caught your eye?
Not really. I mean, like I said, I didn't faithfully watch. I'm waiting for the Dice Tower to break it down into each publisher.
Yeah.
And I'll just pick and choose. But those are the few that caught my eye.
I'll give you my top two games, and I bought them both at the show. I wish I would have brought them down here so I could show them to you. The first one was from Indie Boards and Cards, a game called Delve. I remember watching this. I think they did a demo. It was probably Dice Tower demo for when they debuted it at Gamma, and this is going to be the Carcassonne killer. Basically, the game is D&D Carcassonne. You're laying tiles and building your dungeon, and then you're trying to competing against monsters and creatures and things. You have actual encounters in the dungeon that you build. You can fight against the game. You can fight against each other. So it just kind of takes Carcassonne to another level where another level of game where if you're worn out on Carcassonne, if you don't like it or you're bored with it, this is definitely like the next step in that game. I was really excited to try that one. And then my favorite of the show, and I also picked this one up, was from ILO. And that's always my favorite booth of Origins. They always have a lot of great stuff going on there. But a game called Arena for the Gods, and this is mechanically looks like maybe the next step in the King of Tokyo type of game. There's a few similar mechanics. You're rolling dice, you're re-rolling dice, but this time what you do is you have a card. You're playing as gods from different pantheons. And I don't think you're playing as, canonical gods. You're playing as kind of a character they made up that kind of represents the entire pantheon. So you have an Egyptian, you have a Norse god, a South American god, and you at the beginning you draft cards, you draft a weapon, you draft a mount that you can use throughout the fight, and the symbols you roll on the dice activate your cards. So instead of it being King of Tokyo, where it's basically just Yahtzee, and everybody, the dice do the same thing for everybody, you have to decide when you're rolling how you're going to use those dice with the cards that you drafted earlier. So really, again, very yellow level quality with the artwork, with the components. I demoed it. I haven't had a chance to play it straight through yet, but I'm really excited about that one.
Yeah, I didn't get to play it, but I did get to take a look at it, like just the components in there. I saw the little cardboard 3D towers that you build for it, and that looked really cool. I heard hit or miss things on it. From some people, I heard I love this game, and then from others, I heard eh. So I'm not sure if it's going to sit in my wheelhouse, but it definitely looked great.
If you're not more, I mean, it's again, if it's in that vein of King of Tokyo, it may have. Again, not having played the entire game, it may be the next step up in complexity, but it's definitely in that vein. So, I mean, if you're not a fan of that type of game, you probably won't like it, but it looked like a lot of fun to me.
Right. Did you get to look at Immortals at all that Queen was showing?
I did not know.
That is a box that makes Lisboa look small. So it is huge, but it's an area control, and I already feel like that because I loved the Ethnos that came out earlier this year. I'm a big fan of that game. I feel like this already is going to kill Ethnos for me.
Oh, really?
It's got that area control. I feel like it's already going to make me want to throw Ethnos off the table, which I was genuinely happy and surprised. Queen's been one of those companies that I've been a little hard on recently because, their quality has been hit or miss. But Immortals looks like they might get back into my good graces. So
Cool.
I'm hoping. I know we got one copy for demoing at Dice Tower Con in about a week and a half. So I'm looking forward to doing a full playthrough and not just an overview. So that's
Cool.
one definitely to keep an eye out
Awesome.
for.
Yeah, I'll definitely look out for that one.
And that was one that I actually had heard nothing about prior to Origin.
Yeah,
so
yeah. I think I'd seen a few, blips on the radar here and there, but I didn't see anything about it at the show.
Right.
If you guys don't have anything else, any other games to talk about, I will go. We've been very positive. Now we'll go a little negative. My biggest disappointment of Origins and how much time.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
Robert, little backstory. Asdruval and I have been following the progress of this game. Godfather, Corleone Empire, for a while now. It's my favorite game, or my favorite movie, I should say. Asdruval, I believe it's yours as well.
Yeah.
And so I've been looking forward to this game for a long time. Last year, when we did our top 50 of all time, Asdruval, I predicted that this could make my top 50 this year because that's how excited. Just based on the theme, there's never been like some social deduction games. Never been a Godfather game, complete game. Eric Lang comes out and says, "Hey, this is my favorite movie too. This is my love letter to the Godfather." And I'm so excited because he's a great designer, going to be faithful to the source material, and I started to see things coming out, some images, some artwork, and started to get a little nervous. And I got to sit down and demo it at Origins, and Asdruval, I'm sorry to say, man, they did not pull it off. If you like Eric Lang games, you'll probably like this because it is very much an Eric Lang game. And they took a very thin layer of gangster theme paint and painted over that and put Don Corleone's face everywhere and called it The Godfather. And that's pretty much it.
That's sad.
It's very sad. I mean, when you think about The Godfather, again, Robert, you may not have any interest in the movie, but when you think about The Godfather, it's family and relationships and intrigue and deceit and betrayal, and
that's why it's worked so well in social deduction type.
Exactly,
games, so.
Yeah, exactly. So none of that exists in this game. It's just very generic gangster. You're shaking down storefronts to make money, and paying off the mob boss. There's so many. The thing about me, there's so many missed opportunities. I sat down and I looked at the board, and there's 4 phases in the game, and they're named after events in the movie. Phase 1 is the wedding. Phase 2 is the Turk. Phase 3 is Sonny's murder. And I'm like, oh wow, maybe something happens in the game, thematically that because of the event that affects the game. No, it's just it's dudes on a map. It's Eric Lang, and it's not even the component quality. Like, there's one picture of Don Corleone that is on. It's the box art is on every card. It is on every job card that you do has the same picture on it, and the resources are guns, money, and alcohol, and they're just cards with line drawings on them. So it seems like they cut a lot of corners, and it just did not. Again, for as excited I was, it just really let me down. If you like it,
Kirk, I'm sorry to bother you, but you saw a production copy, a finished.
Yeah, this was official done. I asked the guy, I said, "Is this everything's finished?" He's like, "Yeah, this is what we're really." I think it releases like in a week or two. He said, "This is what's coming out."
I'm actually I don't know much about the Godfather movies.
Yeah.
I haven't actually watched them. Maybe I'll hide under the table now for that.
No, you're fine.
A friend of mine down in South Florida, who's down there with them, he played it about 3 weeks before Origins, and he had nothing but glowing things to say about it. So I'm a little shocked to be hearing this.
Again, it's not a bad game. If you like Garrick, I mean, with a different coat of paint on this could be Blood Rage 2. It's
Okay.
if you're into dudes on the map, Eric Lang games, you don't care about the theme, you're probably going to love this game. But as someone who has been waiting for this game out, and just again with what was said prior about what Lang said about it and how much he loved The Godfather, I was expecting a very immersive experience, and I did not get that at all. I mean, there's a little first player marker about the size of a quarter, and it has a horse head on it, and that's about as that's again. Other than that, that's about as thematic as it gets.
So you're gonna be like this to The Godfather, like I was to the Labyrinth game. I get it.
Yeah, yeah. Again, I mean, it could have been a worse game, but if it would have been more thematic, I probably would have enjoyed it more.
Did they? I haven't looked at it, but did they do screen grabs or did they do artwork?
No, they did. It's artwork. It's a painting of Marlon Brando as Don Corleone. That's the box art, and that's also the exact same art they use on every basically every like job card, every card.
Oh,
you use.
So like what you're looking at, not the back.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the same. It's the same image over and over and over again. And they could have put, like they had like they have like take the cannolis as one of the jobs. You could have had an image of the characters. But yeah, it's just, again, like I said, it might be a great Eric Lang game, but I know it was you, Eric Lang.
Yeah,
and broke my heart.
Kirk was Don Corleone was like the only one. There was no Sonny, Fredo.
Nope, no. There's not even any mention. There's no. I mean, there may be in the rule books, but you have characters in the game, but they're all made up. They're all brand new characters. They have no connection to the movie. Don Corleone has his own mini, but all he is a round tracker. You don't use him in the game anything other than the round tracker. All the other minis, and they're all representing different characters, but when you're looking at them on the board, they all might as well have been generic, just people standing there. There's no mention of any of the characters. They have 5 crime families. You play as 5 different crime families.
But it's not the crime families.
They're not the crime families from the movie. They have 5 crime families in the movie, and they made up 5 new ones. I don't know why.
So when I see Lang in like a week and a half or so, I'm going to tell him that he has broken your
heart.
Please do.
Please tell him. Yeah, tell him. I'm very happy for him if this game is successful, but if he makes Godfather 2 game, he really needs to work on the theme because that was a letdown. All right, I'll calm down now. Sorry about that. I've been holding that in for a week now. And this is my first opportunity to really let that fly. Chaz Marler did a video last week. I don't know if you saw it. He had a video. It was like, is The Godfather going to be too thematic? Will people who I don't like The Godfather, will I be able to enjoy this game? And I was like, yeah, Chaz, you're going to be fine. Don't worry. Oh, man. Okay. Catch my breath. All right. Okay. Yeah, that was Origins 2017. And that's just basically this. Good. I'm sorry.
I did have one disappointing.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Thing from Origins.
Yes.
So I did the interview for Ares, and they showed The Hunt for the Ring.
Okay.
Which is going to be the prequel game to The War of the Ring, one of my favorite games of all time.
Okay.
And it looks beautiful. And for those who don't know anything about it, it's actually going to be a one versus all.
Okay.
One player is going to be Frodo. The rest of the players are going to be the ring wraiths.
Oh wow!
And then it can go into the second half of the game where it can flip over, and now you can have a player being Frodo. You can bring in another person who's now going to be Gandalf, and it seems so cool. And then I was really disappointed when they could not tell me anything about how the game played. And when I asked how the dice work, because there were a handful of beautiful dice, they went, "We don't know." And so I was really sad that I walked away from Origins with one of the, I'm so anticipating this game, and I know nothing. I got to stare at this game and see these beautiful miniatures, and I know nothing.
Yeah.
And that broke my heart. I'm very sad about this still.
Yeah. I feel you. I know I've had.
Why did you bring it? Did you do it just to break my heart?
Yeah, Ares. I'll say this: Ares doesn't always have the greatest booth at Origins.
They're hit or miss. They're hit or miss with everything.
That's a good way to put it.
I love them, and then on some days I'm like, ooh, they're very hit or miss for me. But yeah. Hey, but at least they were present, unlike AEG.
Yeah, exactly. They tried. All right, guys. Well, since that's our Origins talk, now it is time to play Stump the Chump, our bi-weekly pop culture trivia game. Before we begin, though, I have to basically publish a retraction here on air. Question last week, there's some controversy that Asdruval brought up to me. We had a question where who won the Academy Award Which actress won the Academy Award in 1997? The answer was Helen Hunt. It was brought to my attention. Helen Hunt won the Academy Award in 1998 for As Good as It Gets, what came out in 1997. So it's kind of like how the Super Bowl takes place the year after the season it's for. So there's a little confusion there, but we strive for accuracy here on Stump the Chump. The person who wrote that question has been let go, so hopefully there will be no more confusion like that. We will avoid mistakes like that in the future. But moving on, this week, it's going to be Robert versus Asdruval. You both have this week's categories in front of you, I believe. If you're playing along at home, it's the categories listed in the description. First thing you both get to do, and Robert, you can go first. You both get the veto category, so keep it out of the game this week. Robert, which category would you like to veto?
I will veto coming attractions.
Coming attractions, vetoed. All right. And Asdruval, what are you going to veto?
And I'm going to take off the table comic books.
Comic books coming off the table. All right. Okay. So, Robert, now that those two have been vetoed, you get to pick your first category.
I will do Tom Cruise movies.
Tom Cruise. All right. Asdruval, your first pick?
TV spinoffs.
Spinoffs. All right. Robert, you go again.
Cartoons.
Cartoons. Asdruval?
Let's go with Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson. All right. All right. Robert, your next pick?
Holiday movies.
Holiday movies. I can tell Robert's a movie guy. I like that. Go ahead, Asdruval.
Let's go with famous brands.
Famous brands. Okay. Robert, your next pick.
Sci-fi.
Sci-fi. Asdruval.
Celebrity gossip.
Celebrity gossip. And Robert, your final pick.
Musical theater.
Oh, that one's been sitting on the table for a while. All right, and Asdruval, your last pick.
Let's go with news media.
News media. All right.
I was playing my own separate game called Guess What Asdruval Would Pick, and I went 0 for 5.
Famous brands. All right, let me just get these organized. You guys go ahead and chat for a minute while I get these organized.
We'll get you the music to.
I know we do. We need all kinds of music. We need sponsors for this. We're really not taking full advantage of this segment.
We need some clapping involved.
Yeah.
We need a trophy for the winner.
Yes.
You know, come on, let's raise up the budget.
You guys I am currently making 47,000 stickers for Dice Tower Con. That's a project that I'm working on.
Is that something you chose to do, or was that thrust upon you?
I chose to do it for.
Okay.
It needs to be done.
Okay. Somebody's got to do it, right?
Yeah, somebody's got to do it.
What is that? Is that for a game?
Yeah, so we're doing a like a bingo type thing.
Okay.
And so it's stickers for each of the vendors.
Oh, cool.
So they'll have stickers at their booths. But my my little Cricut machine has been working in overdrive for the last few days.
Would you say that's for Dice Tower Con?
Yes.
All right, gentlemen, we are ready to begin. What we would do, Asdruval will now enter the Roll and Move Reviews cone of silence. He will not be able to hear us. Robert, I will ask you these 10 questions first. And then once you go, Asdruval will go second. Whoever answers those questions will win. We need music for the Booth of Silence, too. We've been talking about getting that as well. Okay, Asdruval can no longer hear us. And Robert, are you ready?
I am ready to fail miserably.
You can pass and come back. If you choose, you can pass and come back to a question. If you don't know, you don't want. If you don't want to try again, just say I don't know.
It's going to be like when I ask my Echo about Jeopardy all week.
All right. Question number 1: Tom Cruise movies. In Jerry Maguire, what NFL team does Rod Tidwell play for?
Really? Of all the Tom Cruise movies, the Ravens.
Incorrect. TV spinoffs. What city did Frasier move to in Frasier?
San Francisco.
Correct. Cartoons. What is the name of Finn's dog-like creature sidekick on Adventure Time?
I have no idea.
Michael Jackson. What rapper is featured in the song Jam? Deep cut, I know.
Jam?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Okay. Holiday movies. In Christmas Vacation, how does Clark Griswold plan to spend his Christmas bonus?
On an RV. I don't know.
It's all right. Famous brands. Nike is named after the Greek goddess of what?
Athletics. I'm so bad at this. This is terrible. This is the worst.
This isn't the worst performance we've had, don't worry. Sci-Fi. What author is credited with creating the 3 laws of robotics?
Asimov.
Correct. Celebrity gossip. What actress has been recently criticized for selling alleged phony wellness stickers on her website, Goop?
Kate Hudson.
Incorrect. Musical theater. What is the Wicked Witch of the West's name in Wicked?
Elphaba.
Correct. News media. Fox News recently dropped their Fair and Balanced slogan. What slogan did they replace it with?
YOLO!
All right.
I should get points for that no matter what. Because if it's not their new slogan, it should be.
Okay, you got 2 out of 10 there. I know that sounds bleak, but Asdruval has had some bad performances in the past, so we may be able to beat him here. Who knows? We'll see. All right, let me flag him down. Okay, Asdruval.
Yes.
Can you hear me, Asdruval? Okay.
Yes,
all right.
I can.
Now you got a challenge ahead of you. You ready?
Oh, geez. Okay.
Okay. All right. Category 1, Tom Cruise movies. In Jerry Maguire, what NFL team does Rod Tidwell play for?
Jeez. The worst Tom Cruise movie ever. The Cardinals.
Correct. TV spinoffs. What city did Frasier move to in Frasier?
Seattle.
Correct. Cartoons. What is the name of Finn's dog-like creature sidekick on Adventure Time?
Oh, jeez. Pass.
Okay. Michael Jackson. What rapper is featured in the song Jam?
Oh my gosh, what rapper? Pass.
All right. Holiday movies. In Christmas Vacation, how does Clark Griswold plan to spend his Christmas bonus?
On a vacation.
Incorrect.
Yeah, I don't know.
Famous brands. Nike is named after the Greek goddess of what?
Running?
Incorrect. Sci-Fi. What author is credited with creating the 3 laws of robotics?
Asmodi?
Judges?
Asmobey?
Incorrect.
Oh!
Asmodee.
Celebrity gossip. Which actress has recently been criticized for selling alleged phony wellness stickers on her website Goop?
Phony wellness stickers. Oprah Winfrey?
Incorrect. Musical theater. What is the Wicked Witch of the West name in Wicked?
Of the West?
Yes.
Oh, jeez. Pass.
Pass on that one. Okay. News media. Fox News recently dropped their Fair and Balanced slogan. What slogan did they replace it with?
News all the time?
Incorrect.
I
Okay.
like my answer better for that one.
Okay, go back to what you
That was
passed.
hard this time. Okay, let's go back. Let's
Cartoons.
Go back.
What is the name of Finn's dog-like creature sidekick on Adventure Time?
I don't know.
Okay. Michael Jackson. What rapper is featured on the song Jam?
I'm trying to sing it in my head.
The part you know is the rap. I guarantee you the part you're singing in the head is the rap.
At least you know the song.
I don't know. I can't think of it. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Musical theater. What is the Wicked Witches of the West name in Wicked?
I don't know.
Elphaba.
Oh,
And after 10 questions, we have a tie. You both have 2 correct.
Oh, jeez. Horrible outing.
Pretty sure the 2 I got right, you didn't get right. So.
And I'll go through the ones you guys didn't get. Let's see. Holiday movies is going to spend the money on a swimming pool. Famous brands. Nike is named after the Greek goddess of victory. And the new Fox slogan is most watched, most trusted.
No, it's not.
Now we have a tie.
It's still yellow.
Better, yeah. We have a tie here, and I forgot my phone, and I didn't time you. The timer is usually the tiebreaker. So I have to come up with something on the fly here. I think what I'm going to do is we'll do sudden death. I'm going to shuffle up the categories, and I'll pick one randomly.
The only time you don't use the timer, and then we get a tie.
No, I've forgotten the timer before. We just didn't have the tie. And I was very thankful. When I saw it was coming down two each, I was like, oh crap. Okay, so here we go. We'll do a tiebreaker. You can see they are random. I'm not looking at them. You guys can see them. I can't. And I will pick this one. Category. Robert, I'll ask you first. If you get it right, Asdruval has to get his right. Social media. If you get it wrong, Asdruval has a chance to enter it. Social media. Who has the most Twitter followers?
Barack Obama.
Incorrect. Asdruval, same question for the win.
Is it Beyonce?
It is not. Katy Perry.
Oh.
We might be here a while. Yeah, I was not prepared for this. Sorry, guys. I can't believe I forgot my phone. All right. Okay, here we go. You ready? My wife's bringing me my phone now. Too late.
Too late.
Too late.
All right, here we go. Okay, Netflix originals. Robert. In season 1 of House of Cards, Frank Underwood is a congressman from which state?
South Carolina.
Correct. Asdruval, next question. You have to answer for the win.
Oh,
The best-
no.
It comes down to this.
The best part of that is I've never even seen the U.S. House of Cards. I've
Are you
only seen
serious?
the British version. I just heard his accent once and went, it's got to be a southern state.
Well, Asdruval comes down to this title on the line. Will we see the Chump defeated for the first time ever? And it comes down to this.
I knew that one House of Cards won. Darn it.
No, we already did that one. Pick another one here. Okay, in video games.
Oh no.
What is the name of the underwater city in BioShock?
I'm gonna
I
start
don't know.
celebrating now.
I don't know.
You don't
I
know?
don't know.
Oh my
No.
goodness! Oh, I'm sure there's going to be
The streak-
fallout from this. There will be
The
fallout,
streak is
but
broken.
as of right now, we have a new with a total number and regulation of 2 questions answered. We have a new Stump the Chump champion. Robert, congratulations. I know Asdruval is probably going to book you for our next show so he can get his rematch. He's going to want to have this. He's going to want to see this avenge his loss here. And again, controversy reigns here on Stump the Chump. I forgot my timer.
What was my record? What
Your
was I
record?
set?
How many have we? 6-0, I think. 6 or 7-0.
6-0. I think.
So you
6
had
or
a good
7-0.
run. It's a good run there. So, but Robert, congratulations. As it stands now, you are the Stump the Chump champion, which means you will have to come back soon to defend your title.
I
We
will.
will have to have you back on.
I assume I get a hat or a medal, or there's some sort of gift.
Asdruval has to
Cash
send you some
prize.
cash. Yeah, Asdruval, he's had some money in escrow for this this occasion here that he will send you. So be on the lookout for that.
I'll
But
also just accept a VHS copy of Nightmare.
Yeah, you get to go into the roll and move vault and pick a game out. Or the retro gamer vault and pick a game out. That's the reward. All right. Well, there will be fallout from this. There will be controversy. Tune in next week to see what happens. But in the meantime, thank you guys for joining us. Robert, anything you'd like to let everybody know about before we go?
Nope. I'll see everybody who will be at Dice Tower Con in a week and a half. Other than that, no.
Awesome. Very cool. Asdruval, how about you?
Just check me out every other Thursday on Board Game Blender, and I will be at Gen Con at the Restoration Games booth, demoing all 3 of their games coming out.
All right. That's it for us this week, guys. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you again 2 Sundays from now. Enjoy your week. Enjoy your 4th of July holiday, and we'll see you next time.
Good night.
Night.